Welcome, my name is Kayleen, and this is the introductory video for a series called The Parables of the Living One. I refer to the creator of the universe, or God, as the Living One because of Exodus chapter 3, verse 14, where God reveals his name to Moses, and he says, "I am that I am." And in verse 15, he says that this will be his name forever, a memorial for all generations. So the word YHVH, or the tetragrammaton, the four letters, Yod-He-Vav-He, have a meaning of he exists. And this name is incomprehensible, but he always was, and he is, and he will be. So he is the living one, and that's why I choose to say the meaning of his name. I don't personally think that the debates about how to pronounce his name in the correct language are as important as us understanding the meaning of his name in our own language. So the parables of the living one are going to be the parables of Jesus. Again, the translation of the word Jesus, we lose a lot of the meaning of his name. In the original, it is Yeho-shua. That would be Joshua. In English, we transliterated that into Jesus, and I'm not criticizing the way we pronounce his name, but just the meaning of Yeho-shua is he exists, is salvation. So the YHVH is salvation or deliverance. So Joshua was the one who led the Hebrew people into the promised land. That physical symbolism reveals a spiritual reality, and that is the meaning of a parable. So when we are explaining parables, we have to see with eyes and ears that are not the physical eyes and ears in order to perceive the spiritual truth that's laid beside this physical representation. So for instance, behind me you can see the water, and you can see that it is level. I brought a level. I don't know if you can see it, but this level right here always settles at perfect level. We know that water always settles at perfect level. It's never crooked. And this, I don't know if you can see this, but it's a plumb bob. And this also works with gravity. We can't see gravity, but we can tell because of gravity what is perfectly straight by putting a weight at the end of a string. And the same with the wind. Wind is invisible. We don't see wind, but we can see the trees blowing, the leaves blowing on the trees. We can see the wind blowing. What it does is showing us something in the physical that we can see with our five senses. And then we also can perceive by the creation that we have a creator. We can't search the heavens for their height. We can't see the end or the depths of the earth. He is unsearchable. So I think that the parable is also explained as a riddle, or something that we have to use a part of our mind to try to figure something out. And we're promised that all who seek me will find me. So we will find him when we seek him, and it is something that we have to put effort into. When we hear one of the parables of Jesus, we can see the physical reality, whether he uses a seed or the illustration of farming or whatever physical thing that we can perceive with our five senses. We lay that beside this spiritual mystery that he is explaining in physical terms. So we also see in Proverbs 1, I think it's verse 6, that we are given understanding for these parables, these proverbs or riddles, dark sayings. These mysteries are revealed to us. And Jesus came saying that it was foretold that he would speak in parables. So that was a prophecy he fulfilled in Isaiah chapter 6. He repeats back in Matthew 13 that he is speaking in parables to fulfill the scriptures, what was said about him. And we know that every word of the scriptures which is Moses and the prophets and the writings, were speaking about him. So the reason we have parables, the reason he speaks in parables, is to confound the proud, those who are wise in their own eyes. He says only the childlike will enter the kingdom.